One of the things I do to help students to interact in class in, I think, a more effective way is I create smaller groups. I call them online discussion groups. ODGs is the acronym I use. And they're student-run, student-facilitated discussions. And so instead of having one large class discussion, say there's 25 students in the class, I'll create 5 groups. And each one of these groups has a student who facilitates the conversation. And I email that student prior to this window of online interaction with a list of kind of questions and tips of how to do it. And then throughout the week, that one student interacts with the other 4 in that ODG through threaded discussions, through myCourses as it is right now. And that gives, I think, each individual student a sense of responsibility and a sense of, I don't know, maybe ownership, what have you, to keep the conversation going. And I think it also might, the plan is anyway, it motivates the others to be good interactants because they know their turn is coming to be a facilitator.
Techniques that I have used in the course for sustaining online discussion are things like posting open-ended questions where I lead students on a particular topic only so far, and then I want them to jump in and contribute even further. And you'll get a variety of stories that way because the direction that one student will take it may be different from the direction that another student will take it.
There's a lot of different ways that you can keep a faculty presence in a class without taking over. One of the dangers of doing certain things is that students will start responding to only you as the instructor instead of to each other. So you have to set your guidelines. So for example, I've discovered that if I go into a discussion and I start participating too much, they will start talking to me instead of each other. And I start having individual conversations with each student. And if you think about a classroom, if I had them working in teams, I would never be sitting down and running that particular team. They would be talking, I would be monitoring, walking around, engaging. So I think you have to set up those same kinds of feelings with students, and they understand, one, that even though you're not interactive in their discussion, you're monitoring it, you're there, you may put in an occasional question, you may comment, this is a good question for the class, but you need to kind of sometimes hold yourself back from being a group participant.
As far as out-of-class activities, online discussions is heavily used, talking about and extending concepts and topics that are going on in class, students sharing things that they go out and find online, and kind of integrating them into the topics that are being discussed, having them moderate topics as well as at times me helping them kind of facilitate discussion, having them do some peer review of work from each other because we do have ongoing projects and the like.
Help of Adobe Connect, and this is the online forum where they can hear me, see what's on my desktop. We can share presentations, we can share notes. You discover as a distance educator that each class is a little bit different. And I can tell from the student responses, either in discussions, assignments, exams, whatever the case might be, that I haven't gotten through to them. Some of them, maybe the majority of them. So with the help of Adobe Connect, I tell my students, you know, this is not a rehearsed scenario here. I need to get this message to you right away. This is a 10-week course, and these are some things that I found. These are tips that you need to pay attention. These are weaknesses that I found in the classroom.
Second Life was a very interesting experiment that we did in the blended learning. I think what's unique about it, and this is what I'm trying to teach about with Second Life, is that we really looked at the problem not in terms of how can we add technology to make the class sexier, or make the class more interesting or something like that. We really asked the question, how do we incorporate Second Life into online advertising? How do people advertise in Second Life? And I have to say, when we started teaching the course, we didn't know all the ways that people did it. But what we did, which I thought was very ingenious, was we found a list of the top 10 people who were advertising and promoting in Second Life or having successful businesses in Second Life. And we contacted a number of those people, and we got them to come into the class and guest lecture. It was great. We had these people come in and explain how they marketed, how they advertised their products in Second Life. And then we had the students working with real clients, and some of them, 3 of them were in Second Life, 3 of them were not in Second Life, and they had to come up with a marketing strategy for using Second Life. And it was very, very successful. So, I mean, this was a situation where Second Life was the environment we were researching and studying, as well as the environment that we were doing the blended learning in.